Hello and welcome to the pre-match show. Double header Saturday today. Two matches that will be played. First, obviously Delhi Capitals versus Punjab Kings. Punjab Kings have been the only unbeaten team so far. We are almost halfway through the season, and Punjab Kings haven't lost a single game, and they are They are looking like the most complete unit. If you look at the balance, the leadership of Shreyas Iyer has been exemplary. And if you look at the other side, Delhi Capitals, they started the season really well, but then I think Shorjani is waiting. Snashish, can you get her in?
Checking, checking.
Yeah. So if you look at the other side, Delhi Capitals have been very inconsistent, and all the times whenever they have won the toss, they have opted to chase, and it has given them mixed results. Most of the times they have come on the wrong side of the results, and Delhi Capitals, unlike the last season, they are looking pretty inconsistent. Obviously, one can say Mitchell Stark is not there, but still the bowling unit has done well apart from the last game. Last game they were thrown under the was by SRH batters. It was a really comprehensive performance from the SRH batters, and you know Delhi Capitals, whether it was the pacers or spinners, both looked out of sort. So there will be pressure on Delhi Capitals. Obviously, they are playing at home, but Delhi Capitals are definitely under pressure because from now it is the time when it is the moving phase of the tournament. Teams will have to start winning, or else Delhi will once again find themselves out of the playoff race, much like the last season. Second game, it will be Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Rajasthan Royals. It's a repeat clash, first repeat clash of the season. We all remember the last time these two teams met. It was a low-scoring affair. Prafulinge with that magical first over, three-wicket burst, and then Shakib Hussain, both uncapped pacers taking four wickets each. It was a memorable day because nobody thought that RR would be defeated by SRH in that game, given the way RR were batting and Vaibhav Suryavanshi getting a first ball duck in that game, and it's a repeat clash again, very exciting. Also, the first game that will be played at the Savai Mansingh Stadium in Jaipur, first game of the season till now. They have been RR have played all their games in Guwahati, so it will be first game back to their original home ground. But we'll start with the first game. Obviously, Delhi Capitals and Punjab Kings. Showing the two teams on different sides of the table, and it is all come down to the captaincy as well. If you look at the way Shreyas Iyer and Akshar Patel have performed, Shreyas Iyer has led the team from the front, three half centuries, good stellar impact with the bat, and the moves, the tactical calls that he has taken in some of the games against SRH. I remember when Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head were going at the bowlers. Then he brought in a Shashank Singh and he delivered both wickets in the same over. So there are some calls that Shreyas Iyer has taken and it has gone in the favor of his team. But if you look at Akshar Patel is yet to find the right balance of his team. What is the ideal playing 11? Even if you look at his form has been a big concern for Delhi Capitals. Yes, he has taken wickets, but as a batter also, he's yet to find his role. Whether he should play as a middle order batter or as a finisher. So let's start with that. How the journey of the two captains has been so far this season.
Well, Shreyas Iyer has been the IPL's now that Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Rohit Sharma no longer captains their respective sides. Shreyas Iyer is the best captain in the IPL by a distance. Absolutely. And Punjab Kings last year also they are the best team, although they didn't win the title because not always will the best team win the title. Last time it is a case of just one game. But if you look at their performances in the group stage last year, also they are the best team. And there you judge a team basically over the league matches because you play a certain number of matches, not just a one-off knockout. And this time also, my only concern about Punjab Kings that hopefully reached the, they haven't reached their peak a little too early because along the way a, a bad game or two will come. It cannot happen that they will win all their matches. Do, if they do that, that would be unthinkable, something sort of improbable. So I just hope that bad day doesn't come in the knockouts because I mean, all the hard work you have put in so far, that will come a cropper in that case. But brilliant, brilliant. On the other hand, Akshar Patel, his captaincy was a bit ordinary, especially in the last game. Um, in a game when he still had 2 overs left, he didn't bowl, and that sort of bowling changes. See, captaincy is something you cannot teach anyone. It comes from within. Captains are born, not made, basically. And Shreyas Iyer, at least in this format in the IPL, I don't know how he will do if he is given a chance at a higher level, which is international level. That is for the future. But what we see is that at this level, the captaincy has done not only IPL, in the white ball cricket for Bombay also. He has been fabulous. He looks like a born captain, as a born leader, and that is the beauty of Shreyas Iyer. Irrespective of where Punjab King finish this term, they will qualify for the playoffs in a canter, that we all know. But after that, irrespective of where they finish, um, once again, Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer is a joy to not only the way he leads from the front or leads by example. His overall tactical nows, everything, leadership qualities. Akshar will have to pull up his socks in terms of he needs to show a bit more tactical nows, and he needs to use his resources a little more smartly. So that is the thing. Akshay is also a very thinking cricketer. He is a fantastic cricketer. All said and done, he is a very underrated, but he is a fantastic cricketer. Be it for India, everywhere, he is a fantastic cricketer. So I expect Akshar, and he is a good student of the game also. So I expect Akshar to rectify his mistakes of the previous game and come back stronger in today's game.
Snesh, so much talk about Akshar Patel, his captaincy. Last game we saw him using, Nitish Rana 4 overs, and Nitish Rana actually started the bowling, opened the bowling, and that was the move that we were discussing in the post-match show on that day as well. That move probably backfired because it was not the wisest move. Even when you saw that 3 overs of Nitish Rana were expensive, you shouldn't have given him the fourth over, especially after the 15th over mark. He shouldn't have done that. But as Shamikda said, he's a thinking cricketer. But when will be the point when he will understand his role with the bat, because we all know how good Akshar Patel is against spinners, and Indian team has utilized him really well, especially under Gautam Gambhir. He has fared well as a batter. If you look at the Champions Trophy last year, he was batting at number 5 ahead of KL Rahul, ahead of Ravindra Jadeja. But in this TC lineup where he's the captain, there seems to be an unsurety about where he will bat or what should be his role. Earlier there was the question till the last game. The burning question was around the number 3 slot, that who will bat at number 3. Last game, the only positive thing that came out of that game for DC was Nitish Rana firing at number 3. So I think he will retain his place. He did enough in the last game. But my question is, should Akshar bat at 4? So at 4 you will have Akshar. Tristan Stubbs has done really well as a finisher. If you look at his record in the final 5 overs, Tristan Stubbs has done really well as a finisher. Obviously, he's the most informed batter if you look at this season. But given his numbers as a finisher, will you say that okay, Akshar will bat at 4? Let's give him more confidence because we are still halfway through the season. Let's give more balls to our captain. Then 5, Tristan Stubbs, David Miller, Ashutosh Sharma to follow, or you can say 4. You can play this Samir Rizvi, because Samir Rizvi hasn't been in great form in the last 3 games. So you can also say that okay, Samir Rizvi we can drop him to 5, because again he's also a very good player of spin. All what I'm asking is, can you give more time to your captain with the bat?
See, I think that the way generally Akshay Patel bats, I think he should bat within the top 4. I am not asking to open or maybe a battery. I think the number 4 or maximum number 5 can be the role for him, because he is not a pinch hitter. He cannot come at number 6, 7, or 8 and hit from ball 1. He needs some time. He needs that time to to get settled, to anchor the innings, and then they can play, and then he can play those shots according to the situation. I think if you see his dismissals in this season, I think he is going for those shots very early in his innings. And against spinners, he is struggling. He is not getting those googlies, and playing against the spin, and getting those stoppages mostly against the spinners, and that is why maybe he is struggling. So, and also the captaincy, because of the captaincy, because the result has not been that great for DC. I think maybe that is also affecting, and his form has not been good, even with the ball. If you see, and the tactical decision, as you mentioned, in the last game, he let someone like Nitish Rana to bowl or follow 4 overs, despite him getting considered so many runs earlier. And himself, he bowled only 2 overs, despite bowling so good. I'm not saying that he bowled exceptionally well, but if you see compared the the economical state, he was more economical, in those 2 overs rather than other bowlers, and took on one wicket also. He dismissed, if I'm not wrong, Travis Head, if I'm not wrong. So I think overall, I think that captaincy he has not looked that good. I think in phases he looked good, but again, when his plan A doesn't work, he looks clueless. He doesn't have those plan B, plan C. What we talk about Shreyas Iyer, that when things doesn't work according to the plan A, he brings out someone like Shashank Singh, and surprise, and when that works, that is that is all about the captaincy. What your captain thinks out of the boxes when things are not looking good for you. So I think in that case he needs to do well for Akshay Patel, and to do well, I think as a player also he needs to perform better, more consistency. He is known for that, both with the bat and ball. With the bat, as you mentioned, in Indian team, he can play that floater role from 4 to 6, because in India there are better options. But here you have someone like Samir Disby. With Samir Disby also, you cannot expect to him to come and hit from the fast ball itself. He also needs some time. Tristan Stark also that kind of a batter. Only David Miller can do that, but that is also at this age, with due to with all due respect, all the experience he has, it is difficult for him also. So I think in that case, he needs to play that anchor role in that role and ensure that he is still there at least at one end, so that around him others can chip in with those with those big scores, and get DC those required finishes. So I think that should be his role. But for that, I think he needs to be little more consistent as a player, and that can help him in his captaincy also.
Speaking of consistency, one more DC batter that should get more consistent with his performance. Yes.
Just one more thing I just want to chip in. See, I want to stick my neck out and say this because it would be something you can think that it is I'm overrating him, but this is what I feel. I see shades of MS Dhoni in Shreyas Iyer as a captain. I see shades of MS Dhoni because his captaincy style, the hallmark. MS Dhoni, arguably the greatest ever white ball captain, arguably the greatest ever white ball captain. So, to some, especially the Dhoni fanatics, the comparison might sound a little off the place, but the captain's style, his calm demeanor, the way he handles the dressing room, I see shades of MS Dhoni in Shreyas Iyer's captaincy, and I mean, this is something. This is something very big. This is something because a good captain always stays ahead of the game in the game. He always stays ahead in the game. You always have a plan B or a plan C in place. That is the that is the hallmark of a good captain, and Shreyas Iyer has that. So, I mean, once again, I am sticking my neck out and comparing, not sort of comparing, but I can say I see shades of MS Dhoni in Shreyas Iyer's captaincy.
Definitely, I think me and Rohit, we were having this discussion last year around Champions Trophy as well. That two players, whenever they enter, whether it's a practice session or whether they enter the ground for a match, they carry that confidence and they have that aura about themselves. One is Hardik Pandya and one is Shreyas Iyer. You can sense, just if you're around them, you can sense that they are emitting some sort of confidence. And this is what Marco Janssen also said when I recently attended a press meet, and Marco Janssen was there, and he said the same thing, that Shreyas is very calming. Obviously, he's very open to the players, open to discussions, having plans, and he never panics, and that is the hallmark of his captaincy, that he never panics. Even if you look at, even if Arshdeep Singh, a seasoned campaigner like Arshdeep Singh, is bowling 4-5 wides in an over, then also when the camera turns to Shreyas Iyer, you can see Shreyas Iyer's expressions remains the same. And this is, I think, is one of the big characteristics of Shreyas Iyer as the captain, that he never panics. But Shorjani, one player that is under the scanner this season so far, because of his inconsistency, has been KL Rahul. And because the top order of DC, if you look at the top order of DC, it is Nitish Rana again being very inconsistent, not just this season, but in the last 3-4 seasons in the IPL. You have a Pathum Nisanka who's playing his first season. So the onus of top order lies on KL Rahul. If you look at Punjab Kings, they have a very young top order, but all three of them are firing. Whether it's Priyansh Arya, whether it's Prabh Simran Singh, or a Cooper Conley. Cooper Conley has taken this league as dug into water. So, but KL Rahul, I think there he is feeling pressure, because you can see that in his performances. Obviously, against RCB, he played that fine innings, half century in a match-winning course. But again, SRH he couldn't do much. So, do you think that KL, as a senior player, being the most senior player in this team, has to take more responsibility, given that top order, the other two batters have not been this consistent?
See, having said that, like you mentioned, Delhi Capitals, Pathum Nisanka, he was exceptional in the World Cup. He did score runs, but again, having said that, it is his first time playing in this IPL, and I think that KL Rahul definitely has a lot of responsibility. He's the most experienced. He has to go out there and perform. But on the other hand, I think giving him the sole responsibility adds on more to the pressure. I think the other batters as well also have to go out there and perform, because Pathum Nisanka also, his impact has not been of that. He has not made that much of an impact so far. I mean, definitely he has scored some runs, but I think alongside KL Rahul, we expect the opening pair, that is Pathum Nisanka and KL Rahul, both of them to fire together. And I think that is something that is missing in DC. And having said that, Nitish Rana definitely is chipping in with the runs. Samir Rizvi, in the first few matches, we saw how great he was with the bat and how he helped DC secure wins. But then, like you mentioned, in the next few matches, I think he was a little out of form. David Miller has been also inconsistent, but he has been performing, and then in some matches he has not been performing. But then you again have someone like a Tristan Stubbs. So it's not that the batting lineup does not have experienced players, or they do not have power hitters. They do have that. But I think at the end of the day, no one is performing, so the whole onus is going on to KL Rahul. And having said that, I definitely believe that KL Rahul is definitely a world-class player. And I remember once I was hearing the broadcasters say this on live, and it was Sunil Gavaskar who went out and said that for someone like KL Rahul, he is just out of his form more than he should be. And I think that is something that resonates. The kind of class that he has, the kind of standards that he has set for himself, I think that he goes out of his form very frequently, and this inconsistency is something that is a little troubling. But having said that, he has definitely scored runs out there for his team, and he has done what he's required to do. But the consistency is something that has to be there. When I talk about consistency, the other player that I would also like to mention is of Abhishek Sharma, which is in the second match if I go. I think Abhishek Sharma is also scoring runs, but somewhere or the other, the consistency is a little missing. So I think the key over here for KL Rahul is to be consistent, but to give him the overall pressure, I think that is too much, because there are other batters out there who also have to go and perform.
Samikta, Shorjani talked about Pathum Nisanka. He was in great form in T20 World Cup, scored a century against Australia as well in a winning cause. Started the season really well, but again, he hasn't scored in the last 2-3 games, and that has been the problem of DC. The top order hasn't, come together and fired it. Obviously, you are not going to replace a KL Rahul. Nitish Rana scored in the last game, but is there a scope of bringing in somebody like Prithvi Shaw or even Abhishek Poril for that matter, when you have options waiting in the wings? Let's just make a change and let's see if they can perform right from the start. You are on mute.
This is exactly the halfway stage of this IPL. I think, if they lose this game, I'm not ruling out the possibility of a couple of changes or a change in this game also. Prithvi Shaw, I would like to say him. Yes, of course, I would like to say him. He was batting very well in domestic cricket. I would like to say him. Pathum Nisanka, Abhishek Podel, you mentioned Abhishek Podel played well last term. Podel played well last term. See, at the end of the day, KL Rahul, mm, irrespective of his reputation, irrespective of his experience, he will start feeling the pressure. Another couple of low scores, and he will start feeling the pressure. And this is franchise cricket. This is not Indian cricket. Indian cricket allows you a bigger leeway. Indian cricket is a way more considerate. Here, I mean, it is a cutthroat world, and it can be ruthless. It doesn't care about reputation. It doesn't care about experience. It doesn't care about a player's pedigree. It only cares about a team winning, and sort of it's a pretty cutthroat world. So KL Rahul will start feeling pressure. I won't mind if they bring on Prithvi Shaw for this game, and if not today, then in the next game. Let's see what happens. Kale, obviously, they are not going to drop so early. I mean, Kale will have another few games at least, and he is good enough a player to regain his mojo sooner rather than later. But uh, Delhi will have to see this inconsistency is one of the reasons why Delhi haven't won a title as yet. Because if you look at all the teams that have been consistent, I mean, sorry, if you look at all the teams that have been successful in this IPL, all of them have been consistent. Mumbai Indians, when they have won the title, yes, sometimes they have lost their first four matches, but when they went on a winning run, they carried on with that winning run. Same with CSK, same with KKR, the most successful franchises in the IPL. So inconsistency is a problem for Delhi Capitals, and until and unless they are getting rid of it, they will never be the title contenders. An inconsistent team cannot go on and win the title.
The closest Delhi Capitals came to title was in 2020, and Shreyas Iyer was the captain. He was the captain who led DC to their first final, and now he will be playing against his former team. But now let's talk something about Punjab Kings as well. We are 6 minutes away from the toss, so Snehashish, the most difficult question to you. What exactly is the weakness of this Punjab Kings thing? They have utility players. They have turned Shashank Singh into a bowler. Sunrisers Hyderabad couldn't use him as a bowler. Even last season, he was not being used more with the ball by Ricky Ponting, by Shreyas here. This year, I don't know what different they saw in. I was hearing a lot of things about Venkatesh Iyer, Virat Kohli calling Venkatesh Iyer Alan Donald, and he's going to bowl this season. But that didn't happen. But one thing that has taken us by surprise is Shashank Singh's bowling. And the most surprising thing is Marcus Stoinis, despite being an all-rounder, despite playing as an all-rounder, is not being used as an all-rounder. Whether he's is it with the bat or with the ball. With the ball, I haven't seen him bowl this season at least. So question is, Cooper Conley can bowl, Shashank Singh can bowl, Marcus Stoinis can bowl. You have a lot of utility options. You have so much depth in your batting lineup. Xavier Bartlett comes at number 9, and Xavier Bartlett in domestic cricket, if you look at
Yes.
his record, he strikes the ball really well. Even he played a cameo of 30 or something earlier in this season. So they bat at number 3. Arshdeep Singh, I saw him last year hitting a lot of balls in Champions Trophy. He has struck a lot of sixes for Punjab in domestic cricket as well. So they have got a long batting lineup. What is the weakness of this time? How DC can beat this Punjab Kings time?
It's a very tough question. It's very hard to find any weakness in this team right now, but I think Shashank Singh's catching. I think that is a weakness. I think the way he dropped few chances, I think that is an area that he needs to work on. But jokes apart, I think overall it's a tremendous team. As you mentioned, in all three departments, all the players, and the way every player can chip in both with the bat or ball. I think excellent. And as you mentioned, even I also think that the same way that they are not even using someone like Marcus Stoinis, a proper all-rounder, an experienced all-rounder, has played IPL for so many years, has played in different leagues, and played for Australia so many matches. So they are not even using him, and still they are managing to win these kind of games in a dominating manner, right? So and I think the best part, we always talk about this thing that a team only when a team want to win IPL season only when their Indian players kick off. And I think in this team, in PBK's team, the Indian unit is solid. If you see the batting unit, all the top five batters are solid, top Indian talents, and they are clicking. Last season also they clicked. This season also they are contributing. Then you have in the bowling, as we mentioned, Shashank Singh in now as a bowling option. Ashdeep is a bowling option. Perfect. And the way he has maintained the consistency. Still, I think Ashdeep would love to consider few less wides. I think that is an area that he needs to work. But overall, I think he's chipping with this wicket in power play. That is what matters for Shreyas Iyer and for PBKs. So overall, in all three departments, they're looking top side. It's very difficult to mention that which team can really trouble this team, because the way they are looking, it seems that PBKs is a team on a mission that whatever happened. This time around, we will cross that finish line, and it's time to leave that maiden IPL trophy.
But Snehashish, now that you have mentioned this Indian players, look at the irony. A Delhi boy is Punjab Kings. Delhi boy is Delhi Capitals, one of the biggest threats in this game, Priyan Saria. And
Yes.
talking about the weakness, Priyan Saria has a bit of a weakness against short ball that is coming into his body. But otherwise, if you bowl him in that range, he will murder you. He will absolutely murder you if you bowl him in the range. And he is one of the big threats, the Delhi boy and a Delhi boy. But it is down to the auction strategy. Vaibhav, everyone, this is down to the auction strategy. That's how Punjab Kings under Ricky Ponting had two fantastic auctions, back-to-back auctions, fantastic auctions. And that's how you build the team. They went back. If you go back 2 years ago, ahead of the mega auctions, they just written two players, I guess, and then released everyone and started from a clean slate under Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting was appointed the coach, and they started. And the biggest part, and we have been talking about how inconsistent Delhi have been. But over the
Yeah.
last 2 years, Punjab Kings are the most consistent teams in the IPL. Most consistent teams in the IPL. When there is stability at the top, when you have Ricky Ponting, I just bumped into a clip on social media shared by Punjab Kings on Twitter, and Ricky Ponting was giving a team talk after a game. Ricky Ponting was giving a team talk, and the way every player was listening to it when Ricky Ponting speaks, one of the greatest batsmen in the history of the game, one of the greatest captains in the history of the game. When he speaks, players listen. So that kind of respect Ricky Ponting commands. Shreyas Iyer, once again, that leadership. When you have stability at the top, your team will do well.
Definitely, and the way Punjab have played, even without Lockie Ferguson, Lockie Ferguson, you have to remember that he hasn't joined the squad yet, and
Nobody
despite
is talking
Lockie
about
Ferguson,
him. Nobody is even talking about him.
nobody's talking exactly. Nobody's talking about Lockie Ferguson, despite him not being there, joined the squad. Remember, Will Jacks, he didn't play for Mumbai Indians, and there were a lot of questions being asked daily to us that when Will Jacks will, especially Mumbai supporters, when Will Jacks will join the squad, because they feel the need of change in Mumbai Indians lineup, because obviously Will Jacks was in form and Lockie Ferguson was also in form for New Zealand, but nobody's missing Lockie Ferguson because that has been the impact of the players, whether it's Xavier Bartlett, Marco Janssen carrying the form since last year. But Sarjini, one player that I want to discuss before we get to know what the who won the toss is Prabh Simran Singh, because there are not a lot of Indian batters, wicket-keeper batters who are doing well at the top. Sanju Samson is definitely one wicket-keeper batter, top order batter. Ishan Kishan is another one. But Prabh Simran Singh, if you look at Prabh Simran Singh's rise in the last 2 years, specifically last year, as Shamikda mentioned, he was one of the two retained players. So Punjab had always had that confidence in Prabh Simran Singh. Shashank Singh was the other player that was retained before the last season. And the way Prabh Simran Singh has been batting, he has repaid the trust. Look at the numbers, look at the strike rate, and the way he plays both spin and pace, the way he manipulates the field, the way he plays on both sides of the square. I think Prabh Simran has been the biggest find of Punjab Kings in the last 1 or 2 seasons.
Definitely. See, when you talk about Simran Singh, I think the way he has been going out there and performing for the Punjab Kings, it is definitely exceptional. And to be very honest, I feel that he's very fearless when it comes to him playing in the power play. I mean, he has this intent to hit the first ball that he plays, and I feel that his intent is something that makes the pressure a little lesser on the partner that is batting alongside him. And the most important thing about him is that I think he has a stability when he comes to bat. I mean, he stays still at the crease. You will not see him make many movements initially, and this allows him to play a high quality pace also. And having said that, when I talk a little about his arc, I think he has a very strong leg side, especially that long one and that deep mid wicket range. So that really makes him, that really gives him the ability to hit shots on the leg side. And having said that, I think with spin also, with his footwork also, I think he's very good against spin. I think he has a good footwork when it comes to playing spin and handling the spinners. But again, having said that, his strength is also his flaw. The fact that he has this intent and this aggression from the first ball, it backfires a lot of times, and he tries to go after the bowlers from the first ball, and that usually results him in not scoring.
Delhi Capitals, just I'm interrupting. Delhi Capitals have won the toss and they will bat first.
They will bat first. So for the first time this season,
No, this is a day. This is a day game, na? This is a day game.
But they haven't batted first in any of the games so far. So this is the first time that Delhi Capitals will be batting first in this season.
Okay.
So that means KL Rahul will get a chance to go out there and redeem himself as a batter today.
Let's see what his approach will be. KL Rahul's approach is always questionable whenever he plays. That's probably been the reason. One of the reasons why.
Anyway, this is Pathum Nissanka's last game.
Yeah, so exactly. I was about to say that. I think Pathum Nissanka is the one who has to redeem himself today, apart from KL
Rahul. Mitchell Stark will come in from the next game on. So, anyway,
hopefully for Delhi, but even if Stark comes in, then the question will be at whose place you will bring in a Stark. Lungi Ngidi has been.
I think there is two options. I think straight swap with Nissanka. Then you can ask someone
when Stark is there, you have to take him in the 11.
Yes.
Someone has to make way.
Then Nitish Rana can open. Nitish Rana can open the meeting.
Someone has to make way. If Stark is available, then he plays.
Yes.
Prithvi can, but I am not in a favor of dropping Lungi Ngidi the way he's been bowling.
No. Only Nissanka.
You'll have to.
In case of Nissanka, you are getting Stark.
No changes. So no changes for Delhi Capitals. They are playing with the same team. Let's see with what will be, who will be their impact player. Most probably it should be Ashutosh Sharma, but let's see.
Yeah. Please not Karun Nair, please.
Karun Nair playing Karun Nair in Bengaluru was a blunder because Karun Nair, even from the time he made a move from Vidarbha back to Karnataka, if you look at the performances of last season, it will not give you a lot of confidence. Karun Nair, the batter, last season was in form. That's why he was used. But this season, Karun Nair, since the time he has come back to Karnataka, isn't looking the same batter that I saw him personally in Vidarbha. So, shouldn't do the same mistake again. Shouldn't commit the same mistake. At least send in a Vipraj Nigam if you wish. Don't send a Karun Nair at this point.
Yes.
Okay, Punjab Kings are also going with the same team. So, no changes again. No scope for any changes. So both teams,
Nehal Vadhera will come in as an impact sub for Yuji Chahal.
Yes. Because PBKS will be batting second. So now let's switch to the next game. We have already discussed enough about this game. So Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Rajasthan Royals, the first reverse fixture of this season, and plenty of things to talk about. On one side, you have an informed top order of SRH. Abhishek Sharma has scored against CSK, scored a 15 balls half century, then again followed up with 100, and then you have a Travis Head. Travis Head, I think, is the only weak link in this batting lineup as of now. Although he's been getting the starts, he's been playing the support role to Abhishek, but Travis Head's strike rate, like we were discussing the other day about Heinrich Klaasen's strike rate, I think is a concern. Apart from that, the top order has been doing the heavy lifting for SRH, but if you look at RR's top order, it has struggled a bit in the last 2-3 games. Given Dhruv Jurel's form last game, he was dropped. He got out for a golden duck. Yashasvi Jaiswal started really well against LSG, but again got out. Mohsin Khan bowled a brilliant over to Vaibhav Suryavanshi, wicket maiden that over. So there are two contrasting teams when it comes to the top order. Even if you look at the middle order, SRH middle order, Heinrich Klaasen is second or third highest run scorer of this tournament so far. Obviously, strike rate is still not what we expected out of a Heinrich Klaasen, but still he's doing the job for. And Ishan Kishan has been brilliant as captain. Both captains have been brilliant, but we'll have to see. The biggest question for tonight's game will be: will Pat Cummins make a return? He has already posted a photo of himself with a caption, and it suggests, it sort of indicates that he will be making his much awaited comeback in this game. And Shamikda, Pat Cummins coming back, although SRH have been doing extremely well under Ishan Kishan's captaincy, but we know when Pat Cummins will be back, he will take the reins. But Pat Cummins, who will he will replace? Who will be going out when Pat Cummins will come in? Because that is the question. Your bowling has been doing really well. Ishan Malinga has been the standout bowler. Then you cannot drop a Heinrich Klaasen, Travis Head. Who will be the person who will that goes out in place of Pat
Livingstone.
Cummins?
Only one option.
Liam Livingstone, so they have not been using him only. The last time they used him as an impact player, he couldn't even strike at 100 strike rate and wasn't used with the ball as well. So, Shamik, the first thing, how big a boost Pat Cummins will be and whose place he will come in?
Excellent, big boost. Pat Cummins. Pat Cummins is quality. Pat Cummins is class. Pat Cummins is a leader. So it's whoever it is. I think it could be Malinga. Maybe they will have to drop Malinga. But when Pat Cummins, once again, when Pat Cummins is here, he walks in. He is your captain. He is your captain. You have to make room for him. And once again, I slightly disagree with you, Beva, when you said Travis Head has been a weak link. I don't consider Travis Head a weak link. Yes, he might be going through a lean phase, that is, but he is an out and out match winner. I mean, he is the team's X factor. He cannot be a Travis Head cannot be a weak link. But once again, I think maybe just maybe it would be a bit unfair in Malinga also. But just for the team composition, they will have to drop him because they cannot drop Heinrich Klaasen or Travis Head. So he is probably the only option. And if otherwise, if they go with both of them, then they will have to alter the entire team composition. How they will go about it, we'll keep an eye on. But um, this is a big thing because Sunrisers Hyderabad, like last week, they won a very close game against Chennai Super Kings. They had no business winning that game. The Chennai Super Kings, um, the way the game sort of was sitting in the Chennai Super Kings dugout, but the way they came back, and Ishan Kishan in his first stint as a captain in the IPL, he hasn't done badly, and now he is handing over a stable unit that is not low on confidence to the team's regular skipper, who happens to be a world class player, and he happens to be a world class leader also, given his record as Australia captain. So that is a big boost. And Swai Man Singh Stadium, the pitch, it will not be a belter. It will not be a belter. The bowlers will have a little bit of say that it could be a little tacky also. The pitch could be a little tacky also. And this is peak summer. We have to keep in mind. Maybe Jaipur, it is in Bombay today is around 41 degrees. In Jaipur, it could be around 42, 43 degrees also. So once again, it might not be tailor-made. That game might not be tailor-made for a gung-ho style of batting, especially after power play. So it heightens the degree of difficulty, and the players will have to adjust to the conditions.
Definitely, first game at SMS Savai Mansingh Stadium, players will have to adapt. We'll have to see what kind of conditions that will be provided in Jaipur, because it has always been a tough place, especially if you look at from a batting point of view, because big boundary dimensions. So we'll have to see. But Shnesish, Dilshan Madhushanka making way for Pat Cummins, I think that is the only way you will bring Pat Cummins. Last game, Dilshan Madhushanka played. You don't have to drop a Ishan Malinga. Ishan Malinga bowled really well, and he's been the standout bowler. Ishan Malinga keeping his place, Dilshan Madhushanka making a way. Although Dilshan Madhushanka also bowled really well in the last game. Yeah, he bowled the Yorkers, he got the wicket as well. But I think that is the only way you are bringing up Pat Cummins.
Yes, absolutely. I think anyway you cannot use more than two overseas options in your bowling unit. So obviously Pat Cummins coming in, Ishan Malinga will be there. What I think. Then obviously the only option is Madhushanka. And as I mentioned, if not then Liam Livingstone. Apart from these two options, there is no chance that in any other foreign options are getting dropped from that playing 11. Obviously, Travis Head has not managed to score that amount of run that he is known for at that strike rate, but he is getting those starts. He is giving those supportive support role that he has meant.
How come Liam Livingstone continues to get such high bids at the IPL auction? Any idea, anyone?
It's just that he can bowl
Liam
that off spin and leg spin.
Liam
Both
Livingston
bowling
is the
really
Maxwell of England. The same
well.
the same thing.
And Maxwell at least have 2 or 3 seasons to show.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
he does.
I think apart from 2022 season when he was
Yeah.
with Punjab Kings, he has nothing to show. That
Even now
previous
in
one,
England also he struggles to get at place.
England,
And
though
when
he
he
has
arrived on the
already.
scene, we heard from the British press he was the next best thing since the sliced bread.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely, there were the moment he scored a century against Pakistan, although that was against losing cause, but that made headlines. And then they said that he is the next big white ball player that England has produced. He can bowl as well. He can do a lot of things, but so far only the talk. He hasn't been able to walk the talk. But sure, Jenny, one player that has managed to live up to the hype is obviously Vaibhav Suryavanshi. String of low scores. We have a lot of people have been asking what certainly has happened to him. But it tells you a lot about this volatile format that T20 cricket is, and given his approach, there will be days, and it will be a contest between Abhishek Sharma and Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Obviously, Abhishek Sharma more informed batter, more experienced. But how we are looking forward to watching these two top heavy sides, especially Vaibhav Suryavanshi, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and Travis Head, and Abhishek Sharma.
So the thing with cricket is once batter scores runs, everybody is going to praise them, and the moment they go out of form, everybody is going to throw abuses and troll them. So this is a part of cricket that has been going on for so long. But having said that, I think Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the way he started his tournament, was really confident in the way he was hitting and scoring runs. And I think in the previous season also we saw what kind of intent and what kind of talent he has. But having said that, I watched Vaibhav Suryavanshi live.
Sorry to interrupt. Just to remind everyone that at this venue only he scored the century against GT last year.
So, see, having said that, I watched Vaibhav Suryavanshi play a few days ago against KKR at the Eden Gardens. And the thing about them is that since the pitch was acting a little tricky, I think both of them were very cautious and they were hitting the balls accordingly. They were not going and, trying to hit the ball from the first ball. They were just, playing it a little cautiously and rotating the strike and, playing according to the conditions. So I think that has changed. The approach has changed. I mean, definitely the intent, the hunger, everything is there. They definitely have the intention to go out there and hit from the first ball and score runs. But having said that, I also think that somewhere in his mind, since he's very young, somewhere in his mind he knows that he has to stay and has to bat for longer, because that quick cameo is important. Scoring those 30 odd runs, or scoring out there and scoring those 40 runs from 20 balls, it is important. But having said that, as a batter, he has to stay there for longer. The longer he stays at the crease, the more helpful and more beneficial it is going to be for the team. And I think Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the only aim he has is to go out there and score runs, because when we've seen him get out after scoring runs, and when he's being interviewed or when he's being asked questions, the answer that he gives is basically that if I stayed at the crease for longer, maybe the team could have scored extra 20 or 30 runs. So I think when he goes out to bat right now, the one thing that goes on in his mind is that I will hit the ball, I will hit whatever comes in my arc. But having said that, my team also has to score runs, and I think that is something that has changed. And also, I'll tell you something about the Rajasthan Royals opening pair, Yashasvi Jaiswal and Vaibhav Suryavanshi. They have been consistent. I mean, before a few matches, we saw that the middle order of Rajasthan Royals, they did not even have to go out there and bat. It was the top order that was doing everything. But for SRH, it has been a little topsy-turvy because we have seen, in some matches, Abhishek Sharma has scored runs and then again he has not. And then, having said that, Travis Head is also struggling a little. And then Ishan Kishan comes in. So having said that, I think Rajasthan Royals, the top order, they have performed more consistently than the top order of Sunrisers Hyderabad. And I think that is something that benefits the team.
Shamik, the last question to you before we close the show with predictions. Riyan Parag has been under immense pressure. Yes, he has done extremely well as a captain, but with the bat, he hasn't been able to score runs, and that is the thing. Last game also, he scored 20 of 19 balls, if I'm not wrong. And Riyan Parag's form has been a concern, although Kumar Sangakkara, a lot of RR team management player, support staff, they have downplayed the concern that it's not a big concern. But do you think from a longer, if you look at a bigger picture, Riyan Parag was once part of a team, limited overs team, and even before the World Cup, there were talks that he could be in contention. If he is fit, he could replace a Washington Sundar if he rules out. So, looking at the big picture, if Riyan Parag doesn't, turn things around for himself in the next phase, the last phase of the IPL, then chances are there he will not be able to make a comeback in the Indian team as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always based on performance. And Brian Parag, but I think he's a good player. Somewhere along the line, he will get a big score. But it is the case of Rajasthan Royals. He has taken the responsibility of leading the team from someone like Sanju Samson, and it's a heavy cross to bear. It's not easy. So, and he's a pretty young player, and maybe this is he is a little weighed down by the captaincy burden. It feels like he's not doing captaincy well, but when he is coming out to bat, he's trying. It looks like he's putting extra pressure on himself. He needs to be a little more relaxed. If he does that, I think he will get back to runs.
I think wise words from Shamik Da, and if Riyan Parag is also listening to this, he should calm himself a bit down so that he can score runs, because again he's a very quality player. With the ball, with the bat, he can score, contribute in both departments. So let's see how he fares in tonight's game. It is going to be a very important game for RR as well. So yeah, we will close the show. But prediction, guys, Shamik Da, both games.
Um, I expect I expect Punjab Kings to hammer Delhi Capitals
Hammer.
and hammer Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers Hyderabad to edge past Rajasthan Royals.
Okay, Snehashish, same.
Same. I also going for two teams who are playing away games today. So Punjab Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Sure, Jenny, are you going to give some
No,
respite to the underdogs?
no. I would say Punjab Kings in the first match, but the second match, I think Rajasthan Royals.
Okay, so at least some change in the predictions. So yeah, do let us know
What is
your
your
prediction.
prediction? You have to tell.
My
Yeah.
prediction, I am not very good with the predictions, but yes, Punjab Kings in the first game, and I feel it will be SRH in the next game.
Vaibhav only predicts when CSK are playing.
I am a neutral fan. I have stopped supporting CSK since the time MS Dhoni stepped down as captain. I have made this stance clear every single time I host a show. But yeah, that's it for this particular show. We will be back after both the game ends. So don't forget us. Don't forget to join us then. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.